Well, hello everybody. Welcome to my little YouTube channel. This is Dave N9VFR. Today is Sunday. It happens to be Spring 2026 Support Your Parks weekend day, and I had expected to do a whole bunch of hunting. I went out yesterday, did some activating. Um, and man, sunspots were rough yesterday, and I think they are worse today. So, despite wanting to do some serious hunting, I am up here in my shack, and there's not a whole lot going on. Let me show you on my ICOM 7300 the waterfall display. And on a Support Your Parks weekend, Sunday, it's currently just after 1 o'clock here, 1 p.m. So let me show you this display. So somebody forgot to tell the sun we all wanted to make contacts. There are now, the one of them, it's closest to the center. It's actually the Maritime Mobile Net. I scanned through there and that's all I heard. And I'm sure what you're seeing is a whole lot of nothing. There might be stations out there, but I'm not hearing them. So let's do something different. How many of you have a vanity wall? Am I the only one? I can't be the only one who has a vanity wall. Well, if I am, I'm going to show you mine. Maybe if you get an opportunity, show me yours. If you got a vanity wall, I would love to see it. This is my shack we are in. It's, actually, let me reach over here, and I'm going to turn down the audio on my 7300, and let's go through my vanity wall. First thing here, starting from my left, you might see some DX things. I had a grandfather who had a DX service station back probably before I was born. And I guess until my late teenage years, maybe somewhere in my teenage years. And he got a little old. He actually did a few other things. So this was actually a patch that he had. It's got a stain on here, maybe an oil stain, I don't know. But this one I just got from the internet, probably an Amazon special. I like the DX thing on there with the double entendre of my grandfather. And also, of course, the ham radio reference. A shell from my father's 21 gun salute at his at the funeral or at the cemetery Winterfield Day. I did it just one time. Let me see, Huntsville Hamfest. There is my my lockout tag from work. When I would have to work in, for example, an electrified area, had to work in where it could be potentially dangerous if things were not shut off. I would shut it off, and I would put this tag on there as well as a lockout, and I would lock it out. So I think I'll see this little guy. That's cute. And my son, my grandson, and Rushmi. I have to confess with Rushmi, we really didn't know what to call each other. She is from Mumbai, India, and there they don't have a word for in-law. When you marry into an Indian family, you're not in-laws, you're just simply family. But here in the United States, we are in-laws. So Rushmi didn't have a word for mother-in-law, father-in-law. So she decided just to call us mom and dad. I like it. And we call her Rushmi, and we kind of like her too. So that's that. Above here, a thing I was awarded in 2015 from my local radio club. It's, I don't know, I don't know why I got that. I really don't. 10 years ago, I was not doing all that much in my radio club, but they decided to award me that anyway. And I really don't know why I got it. Interestingly, now I am the president of that club, and I get a little bit of say in who gets those awards. And probably like your club, there are a whole lot of people that deserve it, and give it to one a year is what we do. And I don't know, maybe not, anyway. So, well, let me look around over here. This is, again, my shack. What's on my vanity wall. We'll go through all this. A Yaesu FTM 300. I actually won this at a Hamfest. It's a pretty nice little radio in my shack. I used to have a much lesser radio. Went to the Dry Tortugas with Molly and became one of Molly's friends. She's one of mine. Had a great time. The Dry Tortugas on two of her D-expeditions. Bobblehead I got from a St. Louis Cardinals baseball game. I see Tom and Cindy's cards back there. This thing, I think this is a grandson gift, and he probably got it when he was about 6, thereabout. So, grandson gifts, they go there. Well, I'm a beer guy. You may know that, having watched a few of my videos. And this is a beer that Schlafly Brewing in St. Louis brewed. It had to go in here. So let me look at some of these. Heil Sound and Bob, I'm pretty sure I was given this handed to me from Bob Heil. The last 2 times I saw him were both at area Hamfests. And of course, he in his purple jacket, same color as is on the card. And boy, what a super, super nice guy. He lived not far from here. His business is even closer, and just a good guy. And the things he's done, he is clearly one of my heroes. Well, I volunteer for the Red Cross and got this. I don't do much for emergency management for my county, and I hope I never need to. Hey, there's Junie's little sticker. They're Hammond Quackers. It's Junie and Angela's YouTube channel. And I haven't heard too much about that. I'm going to have to get with them to see if they're still active doing that. Well, let me look up here. Obviously, the map. And above there, the Parks on the Air logo flag. It seemed to be fitting to put it up on top. And one thing I always notice about the POTA logo is, although I know it is correct by the north-south markers, it's magnetic north-south, the east and west, so I know it's all correct, but it always looks just a little bit off-kilter. And I don't know, you see it, I'm sure that it's just a little bit off-kilter. And let's be honest, aren't we all just a little bit off-kilter? We're ham radio licensed operators. And of course, the cool-o-meter, it just really doesn't peg when somebody finds out you're a ham radio license holder. It doesn't really excite too many people. It does us, yeah. But okay, the cool-o-meter just does not budge. And even among those people, we tell them we go out in parks and we do Parks on the Air, and then the cool-o-meter absolutely flattens out among even those who don't peg the meter. We don't even peg the meter on those who don't peg the meter. So anyway, I think we are all a little bit off kilter. I don't know. I'm okay with that. Personally, I never want it. Anyway, so let's keep on going here. There's a patch from the Dry Tortugas National Park. The same as this. The Dry Tortugas are one of the least visited. It is, one of the least visited national parks in the system. For a good reason, it's very difficult to get to. It happens to be 70 miles out in the Gulf off of Key West. K8 UTX, I know that, young lady. And Mike into MAK. I'm going to walk you over here real quick, because I think there's another thing I have for Mike I was looking at earlier and kind of brought a smile to my face. With his call sign on there, $20 is $20. And I think many of us know what that's a reference to. And I get a kick out of Mike. So what else have we got here? There's a Black Swamp coin. Dave N3 and IK. All right. I like it. The POTA, probably got that the first. Oh, it's a little bit crooked. See if I can square it up without having it not fall off on there. There's KD9WHO, and I think that was what I had earlier over there, the little owl thing. And a little bottle opener. Hey, I think we all know KE8PZN. There's James hanging from a cliff. And this guy, this guy. If you ever talk to Ray, KC3RW, spouse and tenor roadie of KB3WAV, he can tell you the story about this. This is a bottle opener I got. I don't know if I bought it or was given it the first Dayton convention I went to 3-4 years ago. I don't know. So anyway, I picked that up, and a little later I had to use the restroom, and they've changed them now. They have they redid the men's rooms. I don't know how the ladies' rooms are. They redid the men's rooms, but then they had these stainless steel doors. And well, I was ready to exit, and I could not get out. I was absolutely stuck inside the restroom, and underneath is only like 6 inches from the stalls to the floor. I couldn't crawl under. I wasn't going to. Couldn't go over the top. So I really didn't know what to do. So I got thinking, well, I put this thing in my back pocket, and I thought, maybe I can pry myself out. So I used this to pry myself out of the stall at the Dayton Hamvention. I guess the next year, I'd forgotten all about that. It's just something that happened, and I didn't think of it anymore. I was at a meet and greet sponsored by Curtis, KB3CMT, and his wife, Carrie. This was in Pennsylvania. Several of us sitting around the campfire talking. And that included Ray and Carrie. And Ray's telling a story about a guy in Dayton who got stuck in the restroom. At his version, he had it in a porta potty. It wasn't quite accurate, but his story's better than mine. Anyway, and I'm thinking, I think that was me, Ray. That was me. And so anyway, since then it's kind of become a running thing with Ray and I. Ray used to, every time he would see me at a whether it be Huntsville, Dayton, Orlando, he would tell that story, knowing that I was listening. Tell it to other people. A couple of kilos award. This one here is from the Lewis and Clark National Historic Trail, and interestingly enough, I am one short of 5 kilos from that part now. 49.99 I have. So of course I'm gonna have to go out there quite soon. Rhino, a cheetah, that's back when we used to have, they do it a little differently. All you had to have was a distance between each activation, whether you were walking, bicycle, I think it was, or a vehicle, depending on your distance. And over here, 5,000 parks to parks. That was one thing I like when I go out. I like to do park to parks. I've got almost 6,000 now. Need to work on that. This is the first ever award for activating all states. I'm the proud owner of the very first certificate that was handed out, and I took it to a meet and greet, another one that Curtis and Carrie put on, and I got Jason Johnston to sign it. A few others have. Rick Parent has signed it, W0ZAP. He's now the head guy for POTA. He doesn't live all that far from me, kind of in the Kansas City area. And that, I don't know, I'm not sure who some of these are. I'm pretty sure Matt Brown signed it, and I honestly don't know who else. A U.S. Island's a first island award to me. This is a member of the year from 2023, and anyway, yeah, there's so many worthy people, and to give it to me seems a little bit off. And above there, something that just doesn't happen to people, not to me anyway. This is a QST with me on the cover, me and Dennis, 89 WM, with the first and still only Parks on the Air hot air balloon. That QST was from October of 2025, right at 2 years actually after that event took place. A very cool video. If you want to watch the video, it has audio. It's on YouTube. Look for K9JDN, and John did a super, super good job, as he always does with his videos. But he did the video and some still photography for that. He took that picture Interestingly enough, I just asked him a few days ago if he got paid for having that on there, and he said yes, he did. And anyway, very cool. John got paid, and I'm on the cover of QST. Come on, that doesn't happen. Okay, this is my vanity wall. Show me yours. Put up a video. Put it in my comments, and I will see you soon. Hopefully, the sun will relent, and that little radio, the waterfall will get busier here soon. But in the meantime, I will see you later. N9 VFR.